Hey folks, it's Reeltime. It's the holiday season. What a better way to spend it doing a little fishing, a little diving with family and friends. Hey folks, welcome to Reeltime, where the pros hook up. On this episode, we're going to Gulf County, Florida, where we've been invited to do a little fishing and a little diving with the McLemore Brothers. Featuring our divers today, Scott McLemore, Richard Smith, and Captain E.T. Eric Tomlinson. This episode of Reeltime is brought to you by the McLemore Law Firm in Houston, Texas. This is Reeltime, where top professional athletes and coaches go to get hooked up with great outdoor fishing adventures. Hey folks, welcome to Reeltime, where the pros hook up. We're down here in Apalachicola. I'm here with my good buddy Scott McLemore. Fixing to go out and do a little bit of fishing. What are we doing?
We're going to run out today. It's a real unique fishery here. We've got beautiful live bottom, active growth on the seabed, and it really holds wonderful fish. We've got an enormous bait supply with the Apalachicola River in our local estuary. We've got Captain Lee McLemore, who spent a lot of time working on getting this trip set up for us. We're going to go out here and fish with some live bait when we can, and we're going to end up hopefully catching some of the local delicacies around here that folks in Florida count on.
City of Apalachicola, really, it's a historical district. It's like old Florida. This is a place where people discover it, they really want to live here. This is just a really, really neat place. We like it here. We enjoy fishing here, we enjoy living here. Just beautiful, pristine waters. We have guys who can fish the bay, you can fish the Gulf of Mexico, you can fish the river. I mean, it is phenomenal. You can catch tarpon here, you can catch sport fish. If you want to catch bass, you can catch bass here up the river. So you can catch just about any species of fish you want to catch in this area.
A little live bait action. We'll try to send these down. The grouper will have a response to them. They'll eat them, but these will also eat their babies. And so you got two ways to get the fish excited about what's going to happen.
Get him, Mark. You're not taking any line, bro. He's not that big. But it's a fish on. Fish on. There you go. Ain't too bad. Good job, Mark. Thank you, thank you. Nice one.
He's got a swim bladder, and it's kind of swollen here. You can see this isn't food in his tummy. It's air from him coming up at a little faster rate than he wants to. So we're going to go in here and let the air out of him. See that? The size of the fish decreased, and now he's going to have a great deal easier time getting back down to the bottom. And we're going to throw this fish back. He's going to live another day, grow up, swim down. And there he goes.
Little big snapper.
That's what's showing, isn't it?
Another little snapper.
Another little snapper?
You got him in both lips.
He has two baits.
There you go.
He's willing to be a big boy one day, isn't he?
Yeah. You're going to grow up and come back and spool you.
There you go.
There you go.
They're not loving the live baits like they normally just crazy.
Hammer, yeah.
I think that full moon sometimes is clean.
Oh yeah.
Catching on babies.
Hard to believe that's all that's there.
Catch and release.
Scott's got one on. It's got a little bit to it. Damn, it does.
I don't know, he lost some of his inertia.
Biting? What you feel like, big one?
It feels a little bigger, but not. Mango snapper, that's a beauty.
There you go.
That's a beautiful fish.
Woo!
That's a
Look at
wonderful
the color
fish.
on him.
He's a wonderful eater. A lot of folks from Florida, they see these fish and folks who eat them in Texas even know that they tasted a lot better than a red snapper. A little bit more like the thigh meat than the breast meat on a chicken, a lot more interesting flavor. A little olive oil, a little salt, pepper, a little lemon, and cook him with his scales on, and you just peel that skin off like a car hood and do what comes natural after that. He's one of those fish, I think, when you look at him, he just kind of looks like he's mad at you. He does. You see what I mean?
He's definitely mad at you.
Hey, this isn't that kind of party.
Reeltime, where the pros hook up, is brought to you by the following sponsors. McLemore, Riddell, Ardoin, and Story, licensed Texas attorneys. Laguna Custom Rods, handmade for the serious angler. Costa Del Mar, see what's out there. And Power Pole, shallow water anchor, swift, silent, secure.
Hi folks, I'm Scott McLemore with McLemore, Riddell, Ardoin, and Story, and I'm a diver like you. We understand the risks both below and above the water. There are a lot of honorable men and women who work hard for their families and they take risks. And they work in dangerous environments on the ocean, on docks and harbors, and there's risk, there's no doubt about it. If folks need help, we'd like to consider ourselves a firm that helps good people through difficult circumstances. We help divers and families of injury victims throughout the Southeast and the Gulf of Mexico. If you or a loved one find yourself injured through no fault of your own and need the guidance of an attorney, please contact our office at 713-888-0080 for a free consultation and information on what we can do to help. Get informed and let's work for a solution. Hi folks, welcome back to Reeltime where the pros hook up. We're honored to be here today with Captain Gary Heights.
Scott, we're 2 hours away from the Beaches Airport up in Panama City. And we're also 2 hours away from Tallahassee. It's not a bad trip. If you choose not to bring your boat down, we have the captains that can take you out on their boats, and we have some rental boats. This is a good sandy bay that really, other than a foot of tide, there's nothing you're going to get stuck on around here. With only 6 miles wide, you can see from the east shore over to the west shore, and it's only 6 miles from the marina out to the tip of the cape, so you can't get lost. If you can see a building, you're probably looking at Port St. Joe.
Hey folks, let's run in here to the visitor center and see what they've got to offer.
Well, we have tons of things to do in Port St. Joe and Gulf County as entirety. We are surrounded by St. Joseph Bay, and we have Lake Wimico, the Dead Lakes, and a couple other rivers. You can go fishing, scalloping, hunting. We have trails you can walk, tons of different nature sites, and there's a bunch of stuff in Gulf County. We surround our lives by the water, whether you're on it, in it, looking at it. It is our way of life. The water is what we love here, and this is a big part of Gulf County.
Right on the bottom. I think it hung up.
Oh, they go in the hole, dude. Feels like it. Pretty good.
Buried up.
This is a classic way that a grouper will act sometimes when it gets in a bottom structure. And what it'll do is it'll come out of its hole or it'll come out of its protected place, take the bait, go back in, open up. And so what we're doing is the current was pulling us a certain angle on the line. And so now what we're doing is trying to see if we can turn the angle on the fish so that he loses his hold.
Let me give him some slack and see if he'll move. See if he thinks he's free to swim out now. Whew! Working up a sweat. All right, let's see what he did. Nah. Oh, there it broke loose. I lost this thing. Dang. I hated to lose this one, man. He was all there, let me tell you.
You're getting the hole on you. If you win that first few feet, though, you get the fish.
That was a fight, man. That was fun until I lost one.
Trigger fish.
Trigger fish.
Trigger on a jig.
Trigger.
Oh, wow.
All right.
And I was sitting there and I was like, no, man. I said, this is a delicious fish. I said, it's my sister-in-law, Tricia, Lee's wife's favorite fish. And it bit me right on the hand. Right when I was shot, I was like, here's how you do it. And I screamed like a little baby girl.
I bet.
And it hurt.
Out of you.
What you got? It's gonna be a good fish.
Big bull shark.
Is it a shark?
It's a cuda, or kingfish. It's a who? Is he striped up top? Hold on, it's either a cuda.
It's a barracuda, I think. Drop another live bait down there, you might get hit.
There's another one right there.
Come on, boy. Get a photo with it.
Is it a cuda or king?
There's a cuda, old stinky cuda.
Woo!
You don't want to be on those teeth.
And he's really got no favorable trades.
Got him, there you go.
That's got some size to it. What it's got? I'm not sure.
That boy got some size.
Blue runner. Yeah. Pez fuerte. Wrong fish, uh-oh. That's a lesser amberjack. Love this fish for food. I want to get a measurement on him and see if he's legal right now. That's a good. Damn it. Huh? There's a little kick to him. Oh yeah, another beauty. Come here. Oh, all right. Gets him on the mouth. Woo! Nice fish. All right. Is that nice fish, Mark? It's another beauty.
Thank you. Got those little vampire teeth going on him. Look how pretty he is. Check out that color, those teeth. There you go. That's a nice one. We're gonna fry him up.
While Mark and Bronson are fishing on top, they have no idea what we're seeing down bottom and the amount of activity, the giant size of these fish. There were 8 or 10 Goliath groupers and they ripped that thing off of my spear and they fought over it like wolves. Hi folks, I'm Scott McLemore with McLemore, Riddell, Arwin, and Story, and I'm a diver like you. We understand the risks both below and above the water. There are a lot of honorable men and women who work hard for their families and they take risks. And they work in dangerous environments on the ocean, on docks and harbors, and there's risk, there's no doubt about it. If folks need help, we'd like to consider ourselves a firm that helps good people through difficult circumstances. We help divers and families of injury victims throughout the Southeast and the Gulf of Mexico. If you or a loved one find yourself injured through no fault of your own and need the guidance of an attorney, please contact our office at 713-888-0080 for a free consultation and information on what we can do to help. Get informed and let's work for a solution. Hi folks, welcome back to Reeltime where the pros hook up. We've really got a professional here with us today. Captain Tomlinson of Killfish Charters. He's considered one of the best spear fishermen in the area. A lot of folks really enjoy playing basketball and some play football, but those of us who dive and spearfish, this is a two-ball sport, isn't it, Captain?
Anytime you enter the food chain, I think that qualifies.
Captain, tell us what to expect.
There's fish everywhere down here. I've been doing it since '73 and we have more now than we've ever had. There's an abundance of sea life out there, so we're gonna go out and see if we can't get on some fish. We're out of Gulf County about 23 miles this morning. We're getting ready to anchor up on one of my favorite sites. It's a big barge down there, about 85 foot of water. Got tons of life, lots of fish, and lots of predators down there to play with us as well. Snapper is on the menu today. All right, we're gonna go down in that anchor rope, and it'll be like this cooler as the dredge boat. It's split in half, and it's split in half again, and then the back side's got a U out of it. It's upside down. Just be easy going down. There's no rush. You go off in the sand, there's nothing to see out there. Stay around the wreck. Jewfish will be inside the wreck waiting on you. There'll be barracuda up above. And usually off this rigging down here, this is where you'll see the shark, but they won't mess with you real bad. It's the jewfish you really gotta be careful about. Do not hook a string or teeth. Hook it to your gun or have it in your hand. Do not hook it to you. 800-pound jewfish get a hold of a stringer and it's hooked to you, he can mess you up, choke you through the wreck. And usually we always keep our fish close to us. If you let it trail, you're asking for trouble. You're like trolling. Don't sweat the small stuff, man. It's all small.
During this dive, I'm out here with my brother. It's my first time to dive with him in these kinds of conditions with this much life, and we are going down the line and we recognize that there's a lot of competition down there for what we're after.
It's crystal clear today. Lots of life down there. Big Goliath groupers off to the side, sharks out in the sand, just like we like to see it. Other than equipment failures, we should have a box full of fish on this dive. It's a good day to be down here. The snapper poked his head out, and we went ahead and took that one. And then we started working a hole and got quite a few fish out of it. And then unfortunately, the Goliath groupers decided that they wanted to fish more than we did, so we had to move to another hole. The Goliaths are pretty amazing, really, to be down there beside something the size of a VW bug and knowing that it wants to eat the same fish that you do. It's pretty cool.
These black snapper, after they're shot, are in peril. The Goliath grouper will grab the first thing that they can grab, and it is a hold on, strong as you can, fight for your dinner sort of circumstance. You really are entering the food chain. Those guys know that they don't have a natural enemy, and they help themselves to what you work so hard for.
I just shot a few fish and come up kind of checking to see where everybody was at, keeping an eye on him. And I noticed that Scott had a fairly good-sized shark about 6 foot from his fins. So I went over and brushed him off and helped him get his gun back. No harm, no foul, I guess, but they were sure amazing to see. So we look out for each other when we're down there.
This is an incredible dive. We lost some shafts, had some gun tangles, really caused some challenging management opportunities in the diving environment, but these super experienced Gulf County fishermen and spear fishermen make this an incredibly enjoyable experience.
It's hard to describe. The fish are so big, they were just monsters. I was just in awe at their size and the way they moved.
Usually the sharks hang out on the sand, but today they were getting pretty inquisitive. Decided they were going to hang up on top of the wreck with us. We had 2 broke spear guns and a stringer full of fish, so we decided we'd see if we could get our catch to the surface, and it all worked out pretty good, all limbs intact.
How big were they?
They were 4 or 5. They were bigger than that cooler.
Which one?
Which one? They were bigger than that cooler.
Billy said there's 2 of them. I said, no, there's 4 of them. That ain't counting the big ones that's down here.
There's one big one, and I got him to say that. I didn't need to know.
Oh, I done knocked them off of you twice.
You did?
That's what I was doing right there.
That was
Actually,
right
when you
on
turn
the
around with the fish, they come in because you had that fish right there. I've been shooting them off of you.
You said something about going over there and getting a shell out of that sand. About that time I looked to the right, I said, holy. And one of them came out of the hole, sort of opened his mouth a little bit, and I just backed the hell up. I said, no, that's okay. Oh, man, it was awesome.
I wanted to make a run around it and get some footage of those sharks after they left, but...
Oh, I got them.
You can take their eyes off
From the edge of the deck, they come this way, they come this way.
You saw them the whole time.
About the 3rd turn, I said, when I see the one come over top of you when your head was down.
Yeah, I felt
That's
pretty
the one that I
vulnerable.
knocked off of you,
I
yeah.
felt pretty vulnerable.
Hey, looking right there, you noticed that though, right? We overcome adversity.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely. So do you feel alive?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
We're down there and we got everything going on. I mean, we got a million things going on. I'm moving the anchor and he's getting guns and everything. And I point to a shark and he's like...
My brother had dove only before in gin clear water. I couldn't really explain to him and have him believe me what was under there without him going to see it. And it was such a joy to look over and see the saucer size of his eyes and the calmness that he showed whenever the man in the gray suit began to participate in the process. It is such an exciting, adrenaline-filled adventure to be here doing this. The true apex predator down there for a temporary period of time was Captain E.T. Tomlinson, But the man in the gray suit, the sharks were moving fast and getting twitchy, and we knew that it was time to give this reef back over to the folks who really owned it, and that the better part of valor sometimes is to go back up that anchor rope and have a great time telling stories and sharing the joys of the outdoors.
I think ET stands for extra testicle. That's the first
Everybody's back up, everybody's on deck safe with a lot of fish. What a great day. I hope you enjoyed everything. Keep in mind, this is not a safe sport. It's a dangerous sport. It's a two-ball sport.
They gobbled and munched a 50-pound amberjack like it was a piece of marshmallow. And all I could do was hold on to my gun and $800 worth of GoPros. Hi folks, I'm Scott McLemore with McLemore, Ardoin and Story, and I'm a diver like you. We understand the risks both below and above the water. There are a lot of honorable men and women who work hard for their families and they take risks. And they work in dangerous environments on the ocean, on docks and harbors, and there's risk, there's no doubt about it. If folks need help, we'd like to consider ourselves a firm that helps good people through difficult circumstances. We help divers and families of injury victims throughout the Southeast and the Gulf of Mexico. If you or a loved one find yourself injured through no fault of your own and need the guidance of an attorney, please contact our office at 713-888-0080 for a free consultation and information on what we can do to help. Get informed and let's work for a solution.
Reeltime, where the pros hook up, is brought to you by the following sponsors: McLemore, Ardoin and Story, licensed Texas attorneys. Laguna Custom Rods, handmade for the serious angler. Costa Del Mar, see what's out there. And Power Pole, shallow water anchor, swift, silent, secure.
Hey folks, welcome back to Reeltime with the Pros Hook Up. Tell you what, we have some wild footage on this episode.
You know, there's just so many wonders in this area. Such a rich, diverse, and beautiful place. If you think that's pretty, you really should just try it underwater and see what they have to offer here. It's a heavenly place. And there's a whole flight of barracudas over there stacked up, just sitting there in the sunlight and facing into the current. Gulf County's an amazing place to dive. When I went down, I saw these big forms, you know, and I'm trying to identify whether the man in the gray suit is there, and then I realized that it was the Goliath Grouper. And I was like, okay, well that's good, and I don't think of them as a threat. And they kind of readjusted my perceptions on that. I'm glad I wasn't 4'1". There are more Goliath Grouper on that rig. It's got to be 10 to 15 that are in the 300 to 500 pound class, and there's 20 Amberjack. I popped one in the face. I had it about 20 feet in front of me holding on. There were 8 or 10 Goliath Groupers, and they ripped that thing off of my spear, and they fought over it like wolves. One of them just came up, got cocky, and just started chowing down on it. And then 5 or 6 more started fighting over it. They gobbled and munched a 50-pound Amberjack like it was a piece of marshmallow. And all I could do was hold on to my gun and $800 worth of GoPros. I had to hold the gun, hold the wall while they were fighting over it, and just let them break the Amberjack off. So these are attached with steel cable. That's a breakaway tip. Where's the steel cable? That's how strong that fish was that ate the Amberjack. He ate it, hit it like a peanut butter sandwich and had it in his mouth. And then the rest of them started fighting over it, and he had to run, and it was just nuts. These are attached with steel cable right there. That's gone. After they ate that big Amberjack, they were all fighting and feeding, and obviously they were pretty excited about eating something. And then the very biggest one of them came right up to me. I hit him in the head with the tip of my gun because I had no more spear, and it was like hitting an iron bar or something. Bang! And he looked at it. And then I hit him again, and I was worried he got all aggressive and was thinking about, you know, maybe I'm about his size. But I hit him in the head, and he finally left, but I had my eye on him the whole time.
Well, we sure appreciate you guys having us down here, and we're definitely going to be back. I can see lots of episodes. I mean, there's so much to offer here. It's beautiful. We're 24 miles offshore and we're catching all these fish that some places you got to go 4 hours.
That's
drive
right.
and stuff. But this is really accessible. It's a kind of a sleepy little fishing village. It's wild. I love it. Scott, buddy, I appreciate it, man. It was awesome.
Awesome to hook
Awesome.
up, man.
Hey, this is the real deal, and this is real time with the pros hook up.
What a wonderful time. Hang loose, guys.